Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. And I push it. 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from the one Numerovator. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Me Numerovation from a king. Me foundation from the king. And I push it. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Numerovation from a king. Me foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that magi family, be that magician, be that numerational motivated force. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. And I push it. 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from the one Numerovator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Me Numerovation from a king. Me foundation from the king. And I push it. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from a king. Me foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that magi family, be that magician, be that numerational motivated force. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. And I push it. 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from the one Numerovator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Me Numerovation from a king. Me foundation from the king. And I push it. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from a king. Me foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that magi family. Be that magician. Be that numerational motivated force. Sorry, I had my microphone off. Greetings to everybody out there. And wherever you're tuning into the mathematical universe, wherever you may be, whatever part of the world you may be, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet, welcome. You are always welcome into the misnomered Aquarian energy of the season. Of course, when I say season, I'm talking about the age of. All right. Man, please, first and foremost, I need everybody to share this. It's a very interesting topic today because today is 11/11/2023. And when you add it all the way across, it adds up to the number 11. Actually, and I got it on the board, but I'm going to show you at different periods what this 11/11 vibration from my perspective is. That's why the topic is 11/11/11 Numerovational class is in session. And again, it is my perspective. That's why you see it right here. That's why you see it in here somewhere. Hold on one second, family. And I'm going. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be patient with all of you out there today, because today is one of those days. It's just one of those days. It's just one of those days. But as I say, it's a numerovational class, and it's a perspective expressed by King Simon. It's a perspective because you're going to hear many perspectives. Enough respect to Miss Blue. She had a very good perspective last night. I was listening to her, and she always called me King Solomon, but she apologized yesterday. She didn't have to apologize. I've been called King Solomon for many years because the names Simon and Solomon and Simeon all have that similarity to it. It's just that in the mathematical vibration of the words Solomon and Simon is totally different. And even in the meaning, if you Google up what the name Simon means and what the name Solomon means, two different meanings. But I've been called Solomon all of my life, throughout the time, throughout the days that I've been actually in the promotional world. They would call me King Solomon or King or Simon or whatever. Simon is one of my middle names, chosen and given to me by my ancestors. And my other middle names, my father and my mother gave me, but that particular name was definitely chosen because the name Simon comes from Ishmael, or comes from Simeon, or it means to listen or to hear. You have to hear. Not only do you have to listen to me, but I have to listen to my inner self, because the word Simon adds up to the number 7 in the Pythagorean system. When you add it up, it adds up to the number 7, and 7 is an internal communicable number, because and in actuality, when you add the word Simon in the Pythagorean system, which is the 1 plus the 9 plus the 4 plus the 6 plus the 5, which equals 25. The 2 in the 25 deals with the internalization of the name Simon. So I don't only require people to listen to what I say, but I have to internally listen to what I am saying to myself. And then the 5 deals with what I need to adapt and be adaptable with, and be willing to expand in it, because the number 5 is the number of communication, expansion, growth. As long as I'm not holding myself emotionally back or holding myself in a reckless vibration, because two can be very emotional, five can be reckless, and then it adds up to the number seven, which seven deals with the law of attraction energy, but it's also the deeper spiritual aspect of who I am and the need to research and study. Thus why I have a lot of books, and I've always loved books. And my dear mother, whose alignment number, and my father, whose birthday is he's born on the 25th, and my mother's alignment number actually adds up to a number seven, which is a 25, because she's born 4/21, and that adds up to a number seven. And she and my father always believed in researching and studying and reading. And reading is a very big part of my father, because he's a minister in the church and all that kind of stuff. But my mother one time said to me, "It's a sin to throw away a good book. It's better for you to share it, pass it on, give it away. It's a sin." Because let me tell you a brief story before I get into the subject matter, which is Numerovational class in session 11-11-11 for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, a perspective expressed by King Simon. And going back to the mathematical universe, at the next door neighbor was a former military man who was born January 21st, because I was able to go get some of his books, and he was doing numerology also, which is interesting. And I seen his birthday inside the book, and he was born January 21st. Forgot the year. But his children and his family was throwing away his books. And, when I came over to visit my mother at that time, at that time I was living at my mother's, in my mother's basement. And they was throwing away these books, a lot of books. So I went over there and said, "You know what? I would like to go through these books before you throw them away." They didn't throw away the comic books, because he was a comic book collector from the Vietnam War. So he had Superman 1, Superman 2. He had all the Supermans, had all of the Batmans, Batman 1, Batman all the way through until he passed on. He had all of the Mickey Mouse. He had everything was in plastic, pristine. He kept it in pristine state, and a pristine state. And what is so interesting is that he had two Superman 1, but one was in between the books. And I thought about taking it, but I didn't. My spirit said, "No, don't take it," because the man loved his comic books and he wanted to give it to his children. Because specifically, they said to me, "Yeah, go down there and look for whatever books, but do not touch the comic books." But this particular Superman 1, telling you this story for a reason. This particular Superman 1 comic book, original Superman 1 comic book, must have slipped in between the books in a crate that I was looking through, because they said only look for the books. Don't go to the comic books. The comic books was to the side. And in my spirit, I say, "You know what? I'm going to put that Superman book away, respectfully." Mixed white family, because the husband and wife was white, but the daughter and the son, they got into, mixtures and had children mixed up. They had the mulattoes popping in. So I gave him back the book, and I said to the widow, I said, "I see you have Superman 1, the comic book. Superman 1 20 years ago was worth $15,000. And I told her, I said, and they had their house up for sale, and all kinds of stuff was going on at that time, because they was about to sell their house. The husband's energy was there. She wanted to move, and I understood that. So I told her that the comic book at that time was worth, and this is about 10 years ago, the comic book at that time was worth $1,500, $20,000. Easy. Superman 1, 20 years ago, about 15 years ago. Moving forward, after he transitioned and she found out about the comic books, I know she was always on the computer, and She must have researched it, found out, put it up for sale. You know that comic book went for $1 million. Superman 1 went for $1 million. And because it wasn't a lotto win, LOTTO, it wasn't a lotto win. Anyone that gets a sale like that can present themselves as an anonymous person. They don't have, because lotto in New York, if you win, they got to show yourself, they show you and all that kind of stuff, and you all people chasing you now. It depends on what type of family you're with. But when it comes to a comic book sale of that magnitude, it's anonymous. They don't look for you. They're not trying to find it. All I heard on the news is that the Superman 1 comic book on 1010 Wins. I remember listening because I used to listen to the news and all of that too, because I was on radio. 1010 Wins said a person just sold Superman 1 comic book and it went for $1 million. Superman 1. Like I said earlier, the house was on sale. House was on sale, for sale sign and everything. The next week when I knew they sold the gun, but I didn't go up there and ask them. I knew they sold it because that's their business. I knew they sold one of them because they had two of them. I knew they sold probably that one and put it in plastic. The page, everything was on it. The cover, everything was very good. It's just that it was stuck in between the books. I knew they sold it because they removed the for sale sign. All of it paid off. All of it. And they even bought something, I think in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, they bought something else. They bought another house because I remember they said they was going to move. So the children stayed there in Brooklyn, and the other side of the family went. I think the mother and whatever went to Pennsylvania. She wanted to get away from that energy, but they stayed there. And they recently just sold that place to a next door neighbor. But I had the opportunity to probably be a millionaire. That's why I'm telling that story. I probably had the opportunity to be a millionaire because of that Superman comic book. Somebody said, wow. Yes. Wow, Latifah. Wow. For real, for real. Man, so let's get into the subject matter, shall we? Let's get into the subject matter. Big up to everybody that's tuning in. Elizabeth. Bonita Al Capone, you got it going on. Some chick named Star. Big up to you. Patrick, what up? F Diabetes in the building. What's up? Moments with LJ. What's up? Thank you very much, Latifah. Thank you very much. That's my son who sang that song. My Cafunia is in the building. Salutations. Jay Goddess is in the building. What's up? Ross L. Wagwan Ross L. Il. Cafunia, love the music. Thank you very much. Yeah, my son is doing his thing. Nikki Love. What up, Nikki Love? All right. Elizabeth, again, I see you again. Key is in the building. What's up, Key? Who else? Anybody else? Khalifa in the building. What's up? Melanated Brown in the building. All right. D1 Nakax. I don't know how to say that. Stephanie Pearson dreamt about. Okay, good. Keep on dreaming, but apply your dreams. Young God in the building. Soul in the building. Cosmic in the building. Cosmic's energy in the building. T Bush. Yes, T Bush. Bush and T Bush. You know I like to get down. M. Ennis in the building. Yeah. Kevin Wise in the building. Yeah. Christopher in the building. Yeah. Ita Love in the building. Tyra in the building. Boy, Lord. All right. let me stop. Y'all know I start going crazy up in this cray place. All right. Thank you all, and big up to the people from the UK that's tuning in. It's 5 hours ahead, so what is 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, about 3 o'clock, 3:21 in the UK. All right, family, we're going to get into it right now. Today happens to be the 11, 11, 11 vibration from certain perspective. Now, what you see, and I'm going to show you on the board. This is what I wrote on the board, so you're going to see it. And you see my shirt, live clean, fight dirty, 52 blocks. That's a picture that I took from one of my, after training, after I did a little workout. I think I was sweating that day, if I can recall. But what you see on this page here, 11, 11, 2023 adds up to 2045. That's why people are identifying it with the 11, 11, and the 11 frequency. Now, these different frequencies or these different vibrations of the 11 showed up in 2005. It showed up in 2014, and it's showing up in 2023. So this is not an anomaly that shows up every 800 years and none of that stuff. No, let's be clear on that. It's not one of those anomalies. All right. Just want to make sure. Where's my pointer? Going to my, because when you add 11 plus the year, it adds up to 245, which 2 plus 0 plus 4 plus 5 equals 11. That's where thus we see the number 11 comes back into play. Good. So 11, 11 is not the only frequency we should pay attention to. We should also pay attention to what it breaks down to. And then when you add 11, 11, 11 up, it adds up to 33. So today universally is a 33 universal day. In the aspect, well, no, let me not say that. Today universally is a number 11 day, to be honest. But if you're looking at it from a holistic perspective, then you will see, when you see 11, 11, 11, then you will see that the multi-tiered connection to the number 33, because 11 plus 11 equals 33. And it happened in 2005, where 11 plus 11 plus 2005 add up to 2027. But it is different than this particular year. Each one of the times that it showed up, it came out to be different. In 2014, it showed up to 11 plus 11 plus 2014 adds up to 2036. Why is it different? Because the 2036, the 2027, the 2045, every time the 20 behind the 20, those two numbers that show up, 27, 36, and 45, they all have a significant different meaning. So today's date adds up 11 plus 11 plus 2023 adds up to 2045. So the 2045, before it reaches the 11, has a different vibratory frequency and meaning. Can we get a little closer? Let me get a little closer with my other so now I got another camera set up where I show you how close we can get. Get you a little closer here to see what's going on. Get you a little closer. But I think my angle is probably a little better. Y'all will look like y'all was seeing it very well, but I got to set up this camera. I guess I set my camera up on a tripod. But I'm just letting you know that each one of these years, 2005, 2014, and its connection with 1111 added up to a number 11 at that point. So again, it's not an anomaly per se. Now, the anomaly, which should be recognized, the anomaly that should be recognized is when we get to 2027. That's the anomaly that we should recognize, because that particular anomaly from a certain perspective, that's when you see 11, 11, and 11 showing up, because the year itself adds up to the number 11. So every time you see the year that adds up to a number 11, now you're seeing And especially if it's a month of 11 and the day of 11 and the 11, it shows up. So when you see years that add up to a number 11, that's when now you're looking at a 3-tier frequency. That's a 3-tier frequency. 3 tiers of the master number 11. And 11, from its most simple perspective, is the number of the seen and the unseen. And being able to pay attention and bring equilibrium between the seen and the unseen. Now, will this same vibration be the same way in when it says 1129? Now you got to start thinking again. Now you have to start thinking. So if I put 11 plus 29 plus 2023, think about that, my family. So when you put 11 plus 29 plus 2023, that equals 2063. Which will also equate to the number 11 again. So 11 is showing up a lot of times, even in this month, and every year of every different month, you'll see the 11 showing up because 29 adds up to the number 11 also. So again, another quote unquote mathematical vortex to be used from your perspective. That's why this is called the numerovational perspective. And which I'm going to be really doing it on a Tuesday. I just wanted to come up here as a special because it adds up to a number 11 and because it's an 1111 frequency going on here. So this is a very important, in the numerical world, in the numerology world, even in the astronumerology world, these frequencies are very important, and how you use them is going to be very important. Now, let me read a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says, "The universe is the externalization of the soul." The universe is the externalization of the soul. So, if the universe is connected to numerical frequencies, which we call mathematics, and the word math only means knowledge in many forms of information and knowledge. That's all the word knowledge. So if the universe is a numerical code, and the universe is an externalization of the soul of each and one of us, because if you learn to use the mathematics connected to you from not just a right brain way or right brain use, but use it also as a left brain use, it will be very helpful to balance your brain, because we got to learn to practice right and left brain balance. So the study of numbers can be left brain and right brain at the same time, because the left brain, you're analyzing, of course. You're hearing, you're dealing with logics and doing, and that's what numbers and mathematics deal with, thinking and conscious. The right brain deals with the feeling, the touch, the smell, the visualization, and the emotion. But that comes from the interpretation of the numbers that brings about the feeling, the touch, the smell, the visual, the emotion, and the subconscious connection that we have to numbers. If we balance the brain, if we may or learn to do left and right brain balance with the numerals that we are connected to, because numbers are still a symbol, but Pythagoras and the ancestors that he studied from before he even became the father of numbers understood it from what Dr. Ben said, a mystical, which deals with mystery and being able to reveal mystery to numbers. so you can be guided or to be alerted on certain things that are happening in your realm as well as other people's realms around you. That's why it's important that we develop a right and left brain use of this great apparatus, what we call the brain. So if the left brain deals with analysis and hearing and logic and doing and thinking, and the right side deals with feelings, touch, smell, visual, emotion, and subconscious. Whatever is in the subconscious, you must be willing to do or let out. Whatever you're thinking, you must be willing to emotionally express. Whatever you are hearing, you must be willing to also recognize that it comes from the subconscious, because it's about the balancing of the two. Because the numbers will alert you to analyze it. That's where the analytics come from. But then, are you willing to visualize it? Are you willing to put your emotions behind it? Are you willing to touch it? Are you willing to feel it and bring it to a sense, to a point that you actually smell your worth, smell your greatness, and bring all of it to balance with each other? It can be done, but it does take work on your part. The left and right brain can be balanced, but it takes work on all of our parts. We got to work. We got to playfully work at it, because you got to love what you do while you're working, baby. So when master numbers like 1111 shows up, every one of us can use 11, 11, and 11. But remember, the basics of the number 11 is the spiritual understanding of the balance between the physical and the spiritual realm, the left and the right brain. That's what 11 is, the door opening to that. So no matter if you're not even born on the 11th, you don't have to be born on the 11th or born on the 11/11 to use the interpretations of the master number 11. You just have to be willing to tap into your intuitive working power, so that your external working power can be maximized, because it's the spirit that drives the body. It's the energetic spirit that drives the body. That's why taking different modalities like Tai Chi and Qigong or martial arts will help you to develop both sides. Because I know that I used to be able to write with my left hand a little bit better than my right hand, and then my mother pushed me towards my right hand, and because they didn't want to have a left-hand child, and they feel it's bad luck. They put a lot of stuff when we were all born ambidextrous. You know the word. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it messes up my tongue sometimes, because now that my teeth is all messed up, from the back of it, it changed my speech. Ambidextrous. All right, ambidextrous. We all born that way. We all, when we was chill babies, we're reaching for everything is being reached. And then what parents do, they probably put their finger in the right hand so the child can get used to that, instead of putting the finger in both hands so child can get used to using both motor skills on both sides, working the left and the right side together. Because I've seen babies, they're wiggling their toes and their fingers at the same time. Every one of us is born that way until we're taught otherwise. And then somebody sticks to their left hand. And sometimes, I understand right hand parents, they have a little trouble with left hand children because they have to teach them. And sometimes the children are writing like this and all that kind of stuff. And, they twisting up themselves to write. I've seen the left hand writers. I've seen them since they was young. I've seen certain people that was then I've seen grownups that are still writing the same way. Barack Obama was left-handed. The owner of SLBs in Manhattan that I used to work with, he was left-handed. One of the Bushes is also left-handed, according to what it is. But we are all born with the ability to use both hands first, to reach and grab for both hands. Because I can attest my left hand is still a stronger punch than my right hand, although I've been using the righty for a long time. But by developing martial arts and the things it kept me swinging knives and sticks at the same time and being able to do it, it helped me to bring it back to a certain degree. But because it was taught from a young age, boom, 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 young age, it starts, resonating more. I'm a righty. Oh, okay, you're a righty. But I can draw with my left hand, and I can write with my left hand, and I can write with my right hand. I can still do that. On this board, I used to teach. I'll be on one side of the board and write with my left hand, and I'll be at the other side of the board and write with my right hand. that helps you to open up the left and the right brain hemisphere to help you to develop those motor skills for those hands. So that's good. Your grandson, keep your grandson on those both hands. Give him martial arts, give him Tai Chi. That's yin yang. Keep them on that. Keep them on it. Believe it. It's going to be very beneficial. Be able to switch up real quick. That's why taking boxing and all those type of things. Ballet also, anything you do on the right, you do on the left. Everything you train on the left, you train on the right. That's how we do it in martial arts back in the day. So getting back to the point, the topic is 11-11-11, the Numerovational class in session. Now, let me bring out a book. Where's that book at? Where's that book? Okay. And this is a perspective again. Perspective. It's a perspective. And yes, I will share the book. The book is called the Numerology Handbook. Uncover your destiny and manifest your future with the powers of numbers by Gabriel. Remember that name, Gabriel, like the angel Gabriel. Good book to have. Boom. But I want to get right into the subject point real quick. So since 11, 11, and 11 is in the play today, just remember, when you see 11, 11, it still adds up to 22. It's still another master number, because if you're looking at it from a holistic perspective, you don't just settle on 1111, which it is a high level vortex number, but it adds up to a 22. So people born on this number, their alignment or their first pinnacle is a number 22. And let me read something from her book where she talks about the number 11. My spirit told me to go there. My energetic spirit she says, when one becomes 11, because the high frequency of the number 11, or the main frequency of the number 11 is 1. So because it's a doubling 1, that means all of the energy is now heightened because it's a double 1. So if you see 1 as a creative energy, 1 as a trailblazing energy, it doubles the energy of the 1 that it started with. Just like 22, the 2 is the main energy. 33, the 3 is the main energy. Always remember that. Any lead number, even if you see the numbers 20, even if you see the numbers 10, 20, and 30. And I teach this in my classes. I'll be going in because I got 8-hour courses on. I got a whole 8-hour course, and it's reasonable price. Even when you see the 10 or let me see if I can get it closer with my little close board here, my close one, so y'all can see it a little closer. Even when you see the number 10, 20, and 30, because of the zero adds infinite extremities, infinite potential to whatever number it follows, according to the perspective of the science of numbers and its esoteric meaning. So even a 10, I would consider a master number perspective or a master number, because 0 adds power, protection, and extremities behind it, whatever number it follows. Just like the number 11, because of the doubling of numbers, it adds higher potential, extremity behind the number, because you're doubling the number. When you add 1 plus 0 equals 1, when you add 2 plus 0 equals 2, you get the same numbers again. You still get the 1 showing up. It's just that the 0 is the buffer and the protector. That's what the 0 represents, the womb. 0 represents 0 point. 0 represents the universe. Anytime man wants to understand something, they relate it to numbers. Let me say it again, especially scientists. Anytime they want to bring down the infinite knowledge that they really don't thoroughly understand because they don't thoroughly understand themselves, man, which is mind, and all is mind, all is mental. Go figure. That's a whole hermetic teaching. Anytime they want to figure something out, people like Pythagoras, Galileo, Isaac Newton brought it down to mathematics because that is a natural and a universal language everywhere on the earth. They bring it down to the numerical understanding. They bring it down to earth. That's why they're debating about zero being the 0 point and zero being a newest. No, zero is not the newest. Zero, the word may have came through India, but then you start seeing it coming through Arabia. You start seeing it coming through different Hindu practices. The zero was under different names. Sifra in the Arabic language, Sunya in the Indian language, Urdu. I forgot the Urdu language that I know it was pronounced another way. So the word changed, and then the use of it started changing also. So it was India that was the one that first started using it in accounting and certain accounting for certain things with business and accounting for certain things along the way. But it was always used because you had to find the 0 point of where you wanted to build. That's why this is a good book to have, because it shows you the circle, sifra, circle, all of it sounds the same. It's a matter of cultures changing it over. But this is a good book. This one is called Constructing the Beginner's Guide to Constructing the Universe, the Mathematical Archetype of Nature, Art, and Science by Michael Scheidner. That's a good book. And in this book, let me say another quote real quick. He said, this woman named Marie Louise von Franz. Her name is Louise von Franz. And she said, numbers should not be understood solely as a construction of consciousness, but also as an archetype, and thus as a constituent of nature, both without and within. Let me say that again. Numbers should not be understood solely as a construction of consciousness, but also an archetype, and thus as a constituent of nature, both without and within. Looking at the duality again. So when you're looking at your numbers, there's a duality that you have to look at, because the inner energy and vibration of that number, like any radio frequency, any TV frequency, the only reason we want to find out how to get to that channel or get to that frequency, we have to turn the dial. So the frequency is alerting you of where you need to go. Think about that. And then when you get to that particular first portion of your frequency, if you like the frequency and you vibrate with that vibration, then you turn up the frequency. Like when you get to your favorite radio station or favorite television station, you want to hear it. You're like, oh man, they're playing it. Before I let go, you just turned it to WBLS, LIB, or whatever. You just turned it to one of your favorite R&B radio station or your favorite Caribbean radio station. You turn up the volume because the music brought you back. It went back into your soul, and the frequency that you just turned it to had the music. And when you understand the frequency that you're born under has the music that you need to play, you'll turn up the volume, turn up the volume, turn up the volume. Boom. Before I let go, everybody gets on the mother flipping dance floor when that song comes on. Or electric slide. Everybody gets on the dance floor when the electric slide. Everybody wants to learn how to do it. Or the cha-cha slide. But that person that's the DJ, that's playing those music through a computer, which is ran by numbers, and a frequency is connecting the musical energy, the mathematics of the musical energy, to the soul of the being. And then everybody wants to move at the same time doing the electric slide or the cha-cha. That's how you're supposed to work your own mathematics of your own birthday, and the name connected to the numbers. So 1111 is profound for you to open up that internal. 1111 today is one of those days that you need to open up that internal doorway to your physical reality to understand why you need to present it and show it to the world, because the number 11 is the number of revelation, revealing things, seeing things that other people don't see. So everybody can use this number, even if you're not born of the number. But let me show you something. If you want to connect that number to what you need to do today, which is interesting with me, because when I connected it, I'm born February 1st. This year is my one personal year. When I add 2 plus 1 plus 2023, when I add the month that I was born with the date I was born with the year that we in, it is your personal number. So when I added 2 plus 1, which is a 3, plus 2023 equals a 7, and 2023 and 7 and 3 equals 10, I connected this universal day, which is 11, to my number. And 11 plus 1, because my personal universal year, today, this year is 1. I added it to the 11, it equals 12. 12 deals with expression. Thus, I said, I need to come and express this. I know how to work my numbers. Now, if I did it negatively, I could come out. Now, the expression can be positive. Expression could have been negative. Because I'm the numerovator, I want to express it from a positive perspective. 3 is also a number of scandal and recklessness and confusion sometimes, the number 3. So once I connected the universal day to my universal number, my personal number, then I found out what I needed to do today from one perspective. It's a perspective. Because if I added my 1 plus the 11 plus the 11, I would be in a 23 personal day right now. See, there's another way of adding it up to find out your personal day. So when I found out my personal year, let me slow it down. When I found out my personal year, which is a 1, and I added to the month that we're in, which is an 11, and 11 plus that 1 is a 12, and then 12 plus today, the 11, equals that 23. Now I'm in a personal number 3 day, which also deals with expansion and growth on another level. The number 5 deals with communication. The communication numbers in numerology is, from my perspective, is the 1, but really the 3, 4, and 5 are the primary communication numbers, but 1 can also be known as a communication number, and the number 9 can be also known as a communication. But if you have a lot of 3s, 4s, or 5, you should always develop your communication. Always, because 3 is the number of expression, 4 is the number of clear communication, and 5 is the number of the freedom to communicate. Let me say that again. 3 is the number of expression and expansion. 4 is the number of, because it's a deal with structure and building, it's the number of clear. You got to be clear in your communication. So when somebody has a lot of 4s or born on the 4, they have to be able to dot every I, cross every T, because 4 can be misunderstood. That's why they have to be clear in their communication. 5 is the freedom to communicate whatever they want to communicate. 3 different levels of communication, 3, 4, and 5. If you understand what I'm saying, put a number 1 in the chat, please. Put a number 1 in the chat. Put a number 1 in the chat if you understand. You hear me talking that sass. Y'all hear me talking that sass. Oh, baby, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And there's much more. There's much more that I can delve in, and I'm not going to be. It's almost, we're at 49 minutes already. There's so much I can delve in with all of this. But remember, note, the official 11, 11, 11 will be 2027. That's the official 11, 11. People might allow big up to Miss Blue, and again she acknowledged the 11, 11, and because it adds up to 23, which is it adds up to a number 11. It's still, you can, whatever works for you, you can still use it. But the 11, 11, 11 will add up to 33, which 33 in numerology is the intuitive, imaginative, creative, and deeply spiritual healer on another level. And that number is the number of highly sensitive, powerful empath. 33, the teacher of compassion, welfare of the masses. That's why 33 in certain spiritual systems of numerology is called the Christ anointed energy. 33 in certain spiritual systems of numerology is called the Christ anointed energy. That means whoever holds that number in any aspect of themselves, or if they're falling in that particular year or that particular month, that might add up to a 33, or your name might add up to a 33, or you might, like Robert is a name that add up to 33. Robert is a name that add up to 30. The name Junior, if you're a junior, you hold the name, you hold the number 33 if you're a junior. Because when people come to me and they're junior, like say you might be Michael Jackson Jr. I add Michael, I add Jackson, I add Junior to it also. I add the frequency on. And Jackson is a 22 in one of the systems. Michael is a 22 and a 33 in one of the systems, or a 22 or 11 in one of the systems, one or the other. I keep on, it's so much I'd be doing. But Junior has a 33 vibration and also a 22 vibration in the word Junior, not JR, not JR, the word Junior. The word Junior. Why not? Let's do it. 3, 6, 5, 5, 9, 1, 6, 7, 9, 2. So when you add that up, you get 4 plus 14 plus 15 equals 33. So in the Pythagorean system, the word Junior, the name Junior, adds up to 33. When you add it up in the Chaldean system, 11, 9, 10, 11, 22. Again, so when I deal with people born under the name Junior, I never leave out that name. I don't just do JR, because if I just did JR, you won't get the powerful significance of that number, because J is 1, R is 9, and that's 2. You're only going to get 3, and you're only going to get 10. But when I spell out the name Junior, I get 33 and I get 22. So that means anybody that's born with a name Junior adds another dimension to what their father had to offer. Adds another dimension to what the father had to offer, because your father is straight up his first, middle, and last name, or first or last name. But when you give your child a Junior, you add another vibration of master numbers to the name. That's why I read the fullness of, even Lloyd don't even read the name Junior. Lloyd is one of my teachers. I recognized this when we did a workshop, and when somebody asked him about the name Junior, he says he leaves it out. I said, no, holistic numerovation? Ooh, we don't leave nothing out. We want to see it all. I want to see it all. I like seeing it all. So Junior is very significant to anybody that has a Junior, because some of our fathers want to name us Junior. I was almost a Junior, but they chose to give me another name instead, because my father's middle name is also Anthony too. I was almost a Junior, but I know my mother was probably arguing him down. God, my mother hard-headed sometimes, I could have been a Junior, and I actually only have one master number in two master numbers in my name. no, one, yeah, two master numbers in my name. The name Brown, my last name, which I inherited from my father, the name Brown, that or through that marriage, the name Brown in the Pythagorean, I believe, or the Chaldean adds up to 22, and the Pythagorean adds up to 9. I mix it up sometimes because I'm looking at both systems all the time. And then in the Chaldean system, my full name, the vowels of my full name, the A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y, adds up to a number 11. When I looked at the vowels of my full name, it adds up to the number 11. So I have 11 and 22 in my chart. 11 is spiritual teacher, spiritual guide, spirit. The name Jesus adds up to the number 11. The name Muhammad adds up to the number 11. The name Moses adds up to the number 22. The name David also adds up to the number 22. So who are making the prophets in these scriptures master numbers? Who are doing it? The lexicon, the people that are coming up and formulating names and words and all that. It's just not coincidence. It is not coincidence that these prophets' names are under a master number frequency. It's just not. Man, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So, because we're about to reach an hour, I'm gonna get off this line. But again, all of us can use any quote, any number that can connect with your numbers can be used to add more. Thank y'all very much for sharing your super chats and all that. How you doing, Camilla? Thank you very much. And Ellen, thank y'all very much. But on the bottom it says PayPal and Cash App. I rather the PayPal and Cash App because sometimes Super Chat goes some, YouTube takes a lot from Super Chat, to tell you the truth. They take the bulk of it and give us pennies off of these Super Chats. But everything works. It's all right. Everything works. I love it. I'm honoring. I'm thankful for y'all sharing your hard-earned circulatory money. I'm very thankful for that because it keeps me going. It keeps the energy going. Remember, it's all about circulation. You're not spending your money with me. You're circulating your money with me. Just remember that. You're not spending your money with me. You're circulating your money with me. But YouTube takes a lot. And that's why the ones that I only have 20,000 followers on YouTube and probably 5,000 to 6,000 followers on Facebook, and I'm broadcasting on Facebook, and 2,000 followers, 2,000 to 3,000 followers on Twitter, and I'm broadcasting on Twitter. In my private page, I have over 100 to 150 people on my private Facebook page, and on my Numerovation Nation, I have like 1,500 people that follow me on my Numerovation. But it's because of that little number, it's really not that much you receive in your bank account. It's like probably by the end of the month you might get $5 or $10. But if I had 1 million followers, then it would be worth. If I had 500,000 or 100,000 followers, then it would be worth. But believe me, family, enough respect to all those that have shared. All those that have shared, believe me, and shared their and circulated their hard-earned funds with me, So I'm getting ready to get on out of here because I have things to do. got things to do. I see one of my cousins on the line. What's up, Frederica? Miss Frederica Campbell. Wagwan. See my cousin de planet. Woy. Happy birthday to JP Morgan. Happy birthday to JP Justice, the comedian. Happy birthday to Mugga Phoenix, the comedian. Happy birthday to one of my editors and friends, Susie Script, aka Sour Sister Susie. Big up to her. Happy birthday to all of you that might be celebrating your born day today or under the 11th frequency. Beautiful. Keep on doing your thing. Keep on connecting yourself. Connect yourself to your mathematical universal divinity, because we are all, like I said yesterday, if you watch that broadcast, we are all worthy and we are all worth it. We are all worthy and we're all worth it. You just have to understand how to use and develop your worth so you can be worthy part of the community, a worthy part of this realm to serve that greater purpose. And I'm not talking about saving other people. Save your own self, but in the saving of yourself, other people will recognize it. And then they will say, what made you do that for yourself? And then more than likely you will inspire someone else. Because everybody in my family don't do a session with me, has never done one. The only one that has done a session with me is more than likely my father. He did a session with me, although he's a Christian preacher and minister. He did a session with me, and it was to help understand the nuances between his wife and him. And it did help him because that session was done probably 5-6 years ago, and they're still together. They was going through it. And I understand. I knew what cycle both of them were in, and I understood that. And I did it for him for free because he asks. It's not like you just come in and ask. This is not a parlor trick. I'm not here for parlor tricks. That's why I do not call myself a reader. Let me make sure I'm clear with don't come and disrespect me with that reader stuff. And I'm not a reader. You're not going to see me on the streets with a little table and reading palms and cards. And no disrespect to those people who want to stay there. If that's where you want to stay, beautiful. Numerovation consultation or advisor. That's what I call myself. And I expect people to respect me for that calling, because when I watch presidents and very wealthy people, they do not call them readers. They call them advisors or consultants. Lloyd Strayhorn has attested to that, who is an elder who knows they are advisors because they're advising them with their own mathematics or their own astrology or with their own palmistry. They advise them because everything is in your hands. These lines mean something. According to ancient symbolism, the lines mean something, and everybody have a different fingerprint and line print. Everybody has something different. So it has to mean something if they're all individual. If everybody on this planet has an individual fingerprint, eye retina scan, and feet scan, and all that feet print, that means it means something. There's a meaning to that. I don't care if you don't believe in palm reading and all that bull crap that you might call bull crap. It has a meaning for a reason, because one time I was a skeptic. But I have the book. I have the hand reading. It's a big book. The Art of and Science of Hand Reading. The art and science of hand reading. There is an art and there's a science to it. All the little marks right here mean something. All the marks along here mean something, especially when it comes to children or having children or not having children. Lloyd Strayhorn is one of those people that can do that. So if you want to contact Lloyd, I don't do it. Y'all can contact one of my teachers, Lloyd Strayhorn, lloyd-strayhorn.com, 800-581-4401. He's the world-renowned astronumerologist and palmist. So you could take a picture of your palm and send it to him, and he will break it down from his perspective on how he delivers the palm and how it's related to your astrology and your numerology, because he does astronumerology. I do numerovation. Keep it simple. I do numerovation. I stay and stick with the numbers, connecting numbers to zodiacs, connecting numbers to words, connecting numbers to show you each word that you use can be motivating to you. And there's words that you can use that can destroy you also, that can pull you down to a lower frequency, that can pull you into procrastination and not accomplishing your greater goals. Each word is a spelling, and it can cast a spell. And just the word alone, spell. Just the word spell alone. Let me show y'all that real quick. Just the word spell. S-P-E-L-L. Let me just show you the mathematics behind the word spell real quick. Oh, that's 5. Sorry. 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 3. Has the master number 3 in it. First and foremost. Now, master numbers can be 3 can be a very healing number. but it can be a very hurtful number if you don't use it appropriately. I'm just showing you that because it has the double L's. Billy Carson has the Billy, the LL, can be a very healing and helpful, or it can be a very destructive and hurtful number. There's duality in all of it. So the word spell in numerology, in the Pythagorean system, let's see, that's 8 plus 8 plus 3 equals 19. Now, 19 in numerology is called a karmic number. It's one of the karmic number. What goes around comes around. But if you're indecisive about what you're saying to yourself and what you're doing with yourself, that's when it becomes something of negative karma instead of positive karma. Because the 1 and 9 represents you start whatever you start, you finish. Whatever you say, you better mean. That's what it means. Whatever you say, you better mean it. Spelling the word in the Chaldean system, that's 11. Wow, 11 plus 11, that's 22. Now, in numerology, the number 22 can be a very masterfully building number, but it's also on the other side, it can be a number of deceiving and cunningness, the negative of, you know what? I don't have to, you look at here. Y'all don't know who I am. I start reaching for books now. Y'all don't know who King Simon is. And this book that I'm about to reach is in plastic. This book is in plastic. It's so old, it's in plastic. I have to protect this one. This book was written in 1931. 1931, the copyright for this book is 1931. 1958, it was revised, and then I have the 1987 revised book. And let me tell you what she says about the number 21. Her name is Florence Campbell. She passed on years ago. Years ago, of course. Her name is Florence Campbell. And these unabridged books are beautiful. These unabridged books. I love unabridged old-ass books beyond, those are the ones beyond the 70s. Now, look what it says about the number 22. In her book, she said, the number 22, power on all planes, practical idealism, direction, international, upliftment, universal, and material. Spelling, the word spell or words can be universal, uplifting, practical, give you direction. The negative of the number 22 is inferiority complex. It's in the book. The word spell adds up to 22. So what you say to you and what you spell into yourself and what you spelling in your own being can cause inferiority complex. Indifferences, she got it here. Grudgeful for the people. And then on the destructive, she got constructive, negative, and destructive. The destructive says they can be vicious. Practice, quote unquote, black magic, the negativity of black magic. Criminals, it says crime on the book. People that even holds that number. The word spelling can be used for criminality, viciousness. That's why people always say sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. No, words will hurt you. You say certain things to children for a long time, like he's too black and he's too ugly and she's too light. She damn near white. If you say those things to a child, those spellings, those words, and cast it to a child, it can cause destruction. Like with my family and my friends when I was younger. How come him come out so black? How come it this? And that's why I almost took my life at 8 years of age. Because I didn't think anybody loved me. Especially when you're hearing it from, you're going to school, you're hearing it from children, and you know how children are. Children are honest. Okay, you're black. I go get in front of the blackboard, smile. Now we can see you. All that kind of stuff. I remember all of that. Then people in your family, because they feel they was high, yellow, and light skinned, they want to talk about you. I went through that. So words and spells can be cast in the mind of a child if you keep on talking that mess to your child. That's why I almost took my life at 8 years of age. I still have the razor blade mark on my wrist. I still have on my wrist. I still have the razor blade mark. It's smaller now because I was a child then, but I could still see it. I could still see it. But do I dwell on it? No, I overcame that. I understand, and now it becomes a teaching moment for me. It's a teaching moment. It becomes a teaching moment. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So true. It's a teaching moment. It's a teaching moment. I'm happy that I'm here today. I'm happy to be able to speak to whomever you are. I don't know any one of y'all, really. Not all of y'all I don't know. Some people that I see names and faces, I see names, I probably met them at lectures, but I don't know any of you, to be honest. And on that note, it's 11:11. I was supposed to do this at 11:11, but I'm that Aquarian energy. I do what I want to. I'm the rebel. I do when I want to do it and make it happen the way I want to happen. And look where it happened. It landed on 11:11. On that note, family, I'm out of here. I'm traveling. I'm doing what I got to do. Y'all be safe. Y'all be fun. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your greatness of who and what you are, and never run away from it, because you are great in whatever you do. So I'm getting ready to close out here, family. Oh, Lord, I'm closing out. Remember, family, do share this. Do share it. And do understand that it's deeper than what is being said, but I wanted to come from my numerovational perspective. All right? So have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Remember, I will be interviewing Dr. Ma'at about this event coming up with Anthony T. Browder. I'll be interviewing her, but on Tuesday, I will be interviewing this brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I'll be interviewing Dr. Wesley Muhammad. On Wednesday, I will be interviewing, myself and Carrie Ann Ingram will be interviewing this beautiful lady, Dr. Sylvia Tremore Morrison, the first Black female impersonist in America, and the first Black female writer on Saturday Night Live. We bring it. And today, make sure y'all go on over to Nicholas. Make sure y'all going over to Nicholas, Brooklyn today. My brother Red Pillar is going to be in Nicholas, Brooklyn today. Today. Nicholas, Brooklyn. Go show them some love. Show brother Red Pill some love, man. He's going to be, and Lloyd Strayhorn is going to be there. Uncle Rising Sun is going to be there. And Sister Kafunya is going to be there. And then, of course, at Nicholas next week, it's going to be Dr. Wesley Muhammad will be in Nicholas next week from 6 to 9 p.m. It's called Nicholas, Brooklyn and Kafunya Ife Presents Spiritual Legacies, Volume 4. That's going to be next week. And remember, if you want to learn this for yourself, family, those that are serious about learning numerology or my perspective of numerovation, called Numerovation, I do have a recorded class right now, 3-hour class for only $55 exchange. All you have to do is send me your PayPal via PayPal or Cash App. But make sure in the note or the comment section, you put your email and I will send it to your email immediately. As soon as I see the payment of $55, I will send this link that you will have forever, that you could watch over and study the mathematics for yourself, the numerology for yourself, the numerovation for yourself. Always looking for new numerovators out there. Anybody that's willing to learn this and share it with the world, that's what I'm about. Because I'm not going to be here forever. I'll let people know that in a minute. I know that one day I'm going to transition and go about my business in the universal world. And big up to Carrie Ann Ingram. Make sure you support Sister Carrie Ann, Ingram.com. That's CarrieAnnIngram.com. Hit her up. And also through her link tree. Lloyd Strayhorn, of course. Make sure you show Lloyd some love, too. Hit him up, especially if you want to do that palm reading. He know how to do it. He's very good at it. If you're having relationship issues, make sure you hit up Acoma House Initiative at www.acomahouseInitiative.com or go to Alicia Watkins. I'm advertising them out of the goodness of my heart. They didn't pay me for this one. It's just that I see that people, when I do sessions with people, they want relationship consultation. They need it. People like Acoma House that couple there can help you, or Alicia Watkins can help you also. Nicholas Brooklyn, located 1396 Fulton. Nicholas Cultural, located at 1978 3rd Avenue. Hit him up. Get for 10% off. Just take a snapshot of this flyer and you'll get 10% off. If you want to advertise with me, please hit us up at the email carrie@carrieanningram.com or ksptvmedia@gmail.com. If you want all of my books thus far, because I got 6 more that I'm writing, Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator, Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. You want to take my brief 2-hour course on Udemy, you can go to Udemy, or you can go through my Linktree. If you want to take my 8-hour course, raw, uncut, holistic numerovation, you can go through Linktree, or you can text me and you can pay in increments through PayPal or Cash App. If you do want to book a session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. I do have a small waiting list. Yes, I do have a small waiting list. So please be patient. All right. And I do my sessions on a private YouTube link now. And I send the private YouTube link to you. You could broadcast it on any apparatus. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want to broadcast it on. It's your private link. So if you share it with other people, that's your business. Remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And like Dr. B. Sirius says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfections. And I am thankful for my life. I can honestly say that. I am thankful for my life. Although my family's imperfection, others' imperfection, even my imperfection, I'm still thankful for my life to be able to be amongst you and teach and guide and in whatever way. And on that note, let's close out with prayer. Dr. Delbert Blair gave us this prayer years ago. It's called, Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Family, thank you very much for being a part of the journey. Thank you very much for being a part of the Numerovational experience. Thank you very much for being yourself, and hopefully you are working to be your best self. It's all right, family. Be your best self. Be your best self by any and all means necessary. Be your best self. Thank y'all for tuning in to this beautiful presentation. From my perspective, Numerovational class is in session, 11-11-11 for YouTube, Facebook, and IG and Twitter. But also remember, it's a perspective expressed by your brother, King Simon. Have a great day, afternoon, family. Balance your brains, family. Balance your brains. Don't be afraid to balance your brain. All right? Take care. I love you. And have a great afternoon, evening, or wherever you may be on this planet Earth. Just take care of yourself and be safe, okay? It's about guiding people. The only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana push 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 Numerovator. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana push numbers are simple. People are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading. It's about guiding. I don't do readings. I do consultation, because you should know yourself as good as the back of your hand. You should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed our ourselves success. Be that magi family. Be that magician. Be that numerovational motivated force. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful. When in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, numerovation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the classes.